Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're all having a great Sunday. So today I wanted to do a video about hashtag goals, relationship goals, to be more specific, because it seems like we often seem to either want to be in one, or trying to get out of one, or longing for one, or something to that effect. So I'm just rolling up my sleeves, sorry. So I wanted to come here and just share with you some of my experiences and some of the things that I think I can that you can benefit from, because I'm married and I've been married for 5 years now. It's gonna be 5 years this year, but prior to this I was also married to someone else for almost 10 years. I'm 50 years old. I'm not 50. I'm not 50, I'm kidding. But so from those experiences, there's some things that I took away that have helped to make this relationship a lot better and a lot easier. And so I wanted to share some of those things with you. So I have a piece of paper that I wrote things on, just to be able to keep track of my thoughts, because I can go off on a tangent and next thing you know, it's Wednesday morning. Okay, so and I broke it up into before, during, and after. Before a relationship, what I think you should do. During a relationship, what you should do, and then should it come to an end, other things that you need to do as well. So before you get into a relationship, work on yourself. I can't stress that enough, because every time we go into these relationships not knowing who we are susceptible to falling into traps and falling into doing things and making decisions that are really not representative of us. But you can make those decisions if you don't know who you are. And so just take the time to fall in love with you, because I always say that you cannot give what you don't have. If you don't love you, yeah, you're most probably going to be pretending to love somebody else, because if you don't know what that looks like, what that feels like, what that sounds like, what, you know what I mean? And so just take the time to fall in love with you, the way that you look, the way that you sound, the way that you dress, the things that you're interested in, and love those things about you. So when somebody comes along and says, oh, that's a great quality, you can say, oh, thank you, I've taken the time to develop and cultivate that skill, you know? And that's the next one that I'm going to jump into, which is enjoy your own company. If you're going to go out and be a partner or a spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend to somebody else, you want to be good company. You see what I mean? And so before I got married to my husband, I would always have dinner alone at home, and I'd set the table up for myself nicely, fork and knife, and I'd always set the table, have candles, and have a glass of wine. And I would read, I'd go by myself to the beach. I would actually go to restaurants and movies by myself. I really enjoyed it. I got to a point where I was comfortable with the silence in my house. I was comfortable with my own thoughts. I was comfortable with hearing the clock go tick tock, silence. You see what I mean? And then I began to cultivate and develop skills and hobbies for myself. And so, like learning how to play chess and learning how to play tennis, and so that when I did get into a relationship, I'd have things to bring to the table other than, I'm so pretty and I'm from Africa. You see what I mean? After a while, yeah, okay, fine, you're from Africa. What else? What else can you bring to the conversation? And so develop hobbies and cultivate skills that can be interesting and they can expand on who you are. The other thing also that I think is incredibly important to do prior to getting into a relationship is have rules in place. And what I mean by that is like hard, unbreakable rules. If anybody breaks any of these rules, that's it. It's a deal breaker. One of them is violence. My mom always told me, if a man hits you once, he'll hit you again. You'll become his drum. And so I've always known that if it happens once, it's going to happen again. And that for me was always a deal breaker. And I always made that known upfront once I got into a relationship, that these are my deal breakers. Okay? So violence, no room for it whatsoever in my life. Cheating, I'll explain later. And then also decide if you meet somebody with baggage. And what I mean by baggage is, if they have kids, I have kids, you know, if they've been to prison, what for? So get to know the person and decide in your mind what you can and cannot live with. And so when the person comes and says, oh yeah, I've been in prison for murder, you can be like, yay, let's keep dating. Oh, great, nice to meet you. You know what I mean? So have those sort of rules in the back of your mind, and just know what's acceptable and not acceptable for you. The other kind of baggage is debt, like financial baggage. If somebody's been in debt before or filed for bankruptcy, how is that going to impact you moving forward? Now, I know that you may have that baggage. You may be a mom of 3 watching this video and saying, what's wrong with me and my children? There's nothing wrong with you and your children. What I'm saying is, you need to decide for you, if you get into a relationship with somebody else and they go, I'm not really into kids. Well, I'm not really into you then. Do you see what I mean? So anyway, those are all the things that I think are important to do before a relationship. Okay, so then you go out and you meet this wonderful person and they're handsome and they're fit and they come from a nice family and they're church going and they got a great job and you think, this is it. And they adore you and they call you queen. Everything is going really well. The things to remember once you get into the relationship: be you. When they meet you, they begin to know you, or who they think is you. So if you're putting up a front and you're pretending to be this gentle lady who doesn't curse, and then 6 months into the relationship you're dropping F-bombs left and right and center, they're gonna go, wait, what? Who's this? Be you. I'm loud. I'm opinionated. My husband knows that. The very first time I met him, the first thing I said to him was, who are you? Because I was working, we met at the gym, he walked to my job. I didn't go, oh, hello, how are you? My name is Kozee. No. I said, who are you? You see what I mean? So he met me and he knew what he was working with right from the beginning. I didn't pretend to be somebody else. So don't pretend and don't change to accommodate other people to be what you think they're looking for or they may like. Okay? So that's one. Number 2, and this is very, women have a tendency to do this. Drop your friends. Keep your friends. Your friends are the people that were there long before he or she came along. And I think guys don't tend to do this. Guys don't drop their friends for us and hang out at home all the time. I could be wrong, but I've done this in the past, and I've seen my friends do this in the past. And so don't drop your friends. If you guys have like a standing monthly appointment where you go out for mimosas, blah, 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 keep it. Keep it, incorporate it somehow into your life so that you're not dropping your friends for your boy toy. Because what happens when you guys break up? You then pick up the phone and go, oh, Grace, we broke up. It doesn't feel good for Grace only to be there to pick you up. Don't drop her because you suddenly got like this other guy, Gary, who's making you happy. Your friends are very important. Keep your friends during a relationship. The other one is, once you're in the relationship and you're happy and you're cultivating it, do not, under any circumstances, start comparing it to those people's relationship. Because you see them, if they're posting stuff on social media, or if they're always showing up and saying, oh, we're doing this and we're doing that. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. When they leave the house, you haven't the foggiest idea what happens. Do not compare your relationship to other people. Focus on your own relationship. Stay in your lane. Get a watering can. Water your own grass so it becomes green and you guys become the envy of all other couples. Let that be, well, that can be your only goal, but let that be your strategy. That you're going to just be watering your own grass and the sun goes down. Watering your own grass all the time. Okay? So I think that is something that is very important to do. The other thing also is, once you're in the relationship, and I learned this from my last marriage, you have to speak. I always used to say to my ex-husband, well, he should know that I want this, or he should know that. Really? Really? How stupid does that even sound to you? How? If you don't speak, if you don't say, babe, I need you to make time for me. Babe, I need more sex. Babe, I need more quality time. I need more attention from you. How are they supposed to know that that's what you want? You have to ask for what you want. Okay? I think that is so, so important. If you never ask, the answer is always no. Always ask for that which you want. So now in this relationship, I always say to my husband, I feel neglected. I need your time. And so he knows, phone down, TV off, kids in bed, focus is solely on me. And that makes me feel appreciated and loved and cared for. My husband and I speak 2 different love languages. Maybe I'll do a separate video on love languages. But my love language is quality time. His love language is gifts. And so I know for my husband to feel loved and appreciated, I buy him stuff. For me to feel loved and appreciated, I just need his time. That's it. Just sit there and pay attention to me. And so you have to ask for that which you want. It's not going to come out of thin air. ask for it, okay? And the other one is a roadmap. Now, this is something that my husband and I have started doing recently, or we did just a couple years ago before we had Zoe. So we created a roadmap map, and you said, this is where we are, this is where we want to go. How do you go from this point to that point? Because if you think about it, in your job, right, you go in and you have all these things to do. Everybody, the goals get broken up into, you do this and you do that and you do this and you do that, so we can reach our goal. It's the same thing when you got into a plane. There's a roadmap. It goes from Fort Lauderdale to New York, right? We don't go from Fort Lauderdale to London to this place. You see what I mean? There is a roadmap as to how to get from this point to that point. You need that for your life. Life can't just happen to you. A lot of people just think, we'll fall in love, we'll have babies and live happily ever after. Really? Really? You need to stop and take stock of your relationship and make sure that you both are headed in the same direction and going to the same destination. Okay, so the last part of this long video is, should your relationship come to an end for whatever reason, take the time to decompress. Take the time to just thaw out and to just think things through and to see what happened, what went wrong, whether it was cheating, whether it was you got bored with each other, whether it was he couldn't handle his money, whether it was she had a hot temper, whatever the issue was. Take the time to just decompress, spend time with you, and go back to the beginning. Spend time with yourself, cultivate skills, have rules in place so that you don't then jump into the next relationship and have the exact same thing happen. You see what I mean? And so those are my guidelines that I can say that have helped me in the last couple of years. Just make sure that I'm headed in the right direction, and hashtag relationship goals. I'm meeting my goals and I'm crushing my goals and I'm moving in the direction that I want to go, and things are not just blindly happening to me. Anyway, I hope that was helpful to you. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. Subscribe, thumbs up, and I'll keep these videos coming. Okay? Have a great Sunday, guys. Bye.